Good morning, everyone, from beautiful San Cristobal de las Casas, Chiapas, Mexico. In today's video, I'm going to give you a full breakdown comparing life here in Chiapas versus life in my normal home base, Playa del Carmen. We're going to cover everything from cost of living, quality of life. I'm going to give you my full breakdown of what I actually spent here in month number one. I have just completed my first month here in San Cris. We're going to compare food, people, everything, guys. There's a lot to unpack in this video, so let's dig in. Vámonos. So first and foremost, I want to cover why I actually left Playa del Carmen this year for low season. And yes, I will be back in Playa del Carmen. I know many of you were concerned about that. But Playa del Carmen during low season, I've spent the last two low seasons there, and I have to kind of cover some of the big drawbacks of spending low season in Playa del Carmen. Number one, the obvious one being the heat. Excessive heat. There's hurricane risk. There's sargassum on the beaches. I actually left Playa del Carmen June 5th, and I had not swam on the beaches, in the beaches there, in the ocean, in the center of Playa del Carmen since March. So those are top of mind, but also it's not like the prices go down in Playa del Carmen typically when the livability and the quality of life gets a little bit worse. And so that's kind of what I want to focus on in this video, is the overarching theme of cost of living versus quality of life. And so why I really left Playa del Carmen during low season is I just thought, hey, this is skewing the wrong direction. The cost of living is still very high. I'll give you my monthly budget in Playa when we get into cost of living, but my budget's still high, yet the quality of life is going down. So where can I go in Mexico, spend less money, and have a better quality of life, at least during those summer months where we are at risk for category 3, 4 hurricanes, and when we can't get in the water and enjoy some beach time. So I decided to thoroughly explore San Cristobal de las Casas. We've got a cooler climate here, colonial streets, we've got architecture, history, rich culture, indigenous people who have been absolutely lovely. And that's another thing we're going to dig deep into, is the people and the vendors and the law enforcement here. So there's a lot to discuss, but it made sense for me to at least come out here and give this place a shot for a month. Could it be a good fit for you? I'm going to cover who this place really could make sense for. I'll break that all down at the end of the video. But first and foremost, guys, without keeping you waiting, I'm going to give you my cost of living for month number one here in San Cristobal de las Casas. Absolutely going to blow your mind. And then I'm going to compare that with what I spend on a monthly basis in Playa del Carmen and show you the cost savings. So let's dig into cost of living. Now, keep in mind, on this budget, I've gone to Sumidero Canyon, I've gone to the Guatemala border, I've gone to Comitán, I've gone to some gorgeous waterfalls, and we'll dig into the abundant nature more detail later. But I've been living to the max. I've been doing things every day, hiking, I've gone to Arcotete, I've gone exploring caves, and I also have beautiful accommodations. So let me start with rent. I paid 5,000 pesos for my 1 month here at Tierra Alta, which is a beautiful hostel. I have a private room. Yes, it's a shared bathroom, but there's so few people here right now that I always have the bathroom to myself. There's no waiting around. There's multiple showers. So 5,000 pesos. And on food, I think I've spent only about 4,200 in the entire month. I've been buying groceries, and then also the meals out are $2 to $3. If you want a local meal, on coffee, I've spent just a little over $20 US, combined with having coffee out and buying bags of coffee at home. My entire month here cost me 14,700 pesos, if my accounting is correct, and at the current exchange rate, drum roll, wait for it, that is $841.40. So $841, how does that compare with what I spend in Playa del Carmen, and how does it compare with the quality of life I get for that money? Well, Let's start off with rent. Once again, I pay 18,000 pesos a month for a 1-bedroom apartment in Playa del Carmen, 3 blocks from a beach that I haven't used since March. So all of a sudden the cost of living scenario doesn't make a lot of sense just right off the bat, just talking about rent. That's over $1,030 every month that I'm just handing out for rent. And yes, that includes a weekly cleaning and air conditioning and all that, which is cool, but it's still a lot of money for Latin America. And food is just, I spend at least $1,000 a month in Playa del Carmen. If you go to Chedraui Selecto, buy some groceries, you can't really generally get out of there. You get a handful of items like what I buy here, yogurt, cheese, etc., which costs almost nothing here. I've covered that in previous videos. I can get a huge thing of cheese for 35 pesos, a tub of yogurt for 25 pesos here. In Playa, I can't leave Chedraui buying those items without spending close to 1,000 pesos every single time. I spend well over $100 a day in Playa del Carmen. Just to break it all down, I go to cenotes, I do adventures, maybe I go out to Cozumel, one trip maybe to Bacalar here and there. But I spend minimum in Playa del Carmen, guys, $3,000 every single month. So that is a cost savings of $2,159. So financially, it makes a lot of sense to come to San Cristobal during low season in Playa del Carmen, because I'm saving money and my quality of life is actually better. We have fresh mountain air, we have endless nature and hiking. And so that's one thing I wanted to highlight just briefly, is the outdoor activities here versus Playa del Carmen in low season. It's so hot there that you might go to a cenote, something like that, but you're not just going to go for these leisurely strolls 10, 11 in the morning unless you really are in the mood to sweat buckets. A lot of people just tend to stay in the AC. They go from one air-conditioned place to another. They go from their apartment to maybe a cafe or something like that. So cost of living, Chiapas absolutely gets the win. And it's not just about being a place that's cheap. It's that the quality of life, at least for 3 or 4 months out of the year, you could argue is actually better. Now we have to talk a little bit about food as we walk by some delicious elotes right there. Hola, gatito. Man, those elotes smell good. So as we walk by one of my favorite restaurants, you can see why my budget for food has been so low here. They have 2 for 19 pastor tacos here. 2 tacos, 19 pesos. And what I want to talk more about is not just the cost, but the quality. You're going to find handmade tortillas at the majority of these restaurants. There's a lot of pride taken in making the salsas. Now, I'm not dissing the food in Playa del Carmen. For those of you who follow the channel, you know I love the food in Playa. There's some good spots, but it's expensive. The average meal here that I've had out is just a little over $3 US, including a drink. The average meal out in Playa del Carmen for one person with a drink is about $10 US. And that's even just for a spot like El Ñero or something where you're getting a couple plates of tacos and an agua de Jamaica. You're at about 180 Mexican pesos in the center of Playa del Carmen. And then another thing is the coffee. So I'm going to put coffee in the food section of this video. I've gotten a burnt Americano on 5th Avenue in Playa del Carmen for 70 pesos for what they called the large. And I'm not going to name the name of the place, but I've been extremely disappointed time and again paying 70, 80 pesos for an Americano or a cappuccino. That's honestly more expensive than some places in the US. And the quality of the coffee as well here in Chiapas is fantastic. Yet I had a cafe de olla the other day while I was filming a video on apartments and rentals here, and it was 25 pesos. It was the best coffee, the best cafe de olla I've had since I lived in Puerto Vallarta or since I've been in Hidalgo, which is also known for its cafe de olla. So I have to give food for the quality and the cost. I have to give Chiapas the win on the food. And actually, fun fact, there's better seafood here because we're so close to the Pacific Ocean the other day, and I'll put up hopefully some overlays on the screen, I had a whole huachinango over at El Timón del Capi. So an entire fried fish for just a little over 200 pesos. I had a ceviche over there, and I had some pescadillas in the same meal. And I ate like an absolute glutton, an absolute king. And the quality of the seafood is next level here. As we walk by this pickup full of just beautiful produce. The fruits and veggies here, as you can see, we have strawberries in abundance. The fruits and veggies here, the watermelons, are next level as well. And if you're a vegetarian or a fruitarian, you mostly eat fruits and veggies, you can live here for almost nothing. So factor in the 5,000 peso a month to 7,500 peso a month rent and the cheap cost of coffee and produce. If you're just someone who eats fruits and drinks coffee and has vegetables and seafood, you can live here probably on $600 US a month without exaggeration. So the food, I have to say, gets the win. And there's some unique things here like chinculguajes, which we tried over near Lagunas de Montebello. And then also I want to talk briefly about transportation, colectivos, taxis. We've all been there. Those of us who have been to Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, Playa del Carmen, the taxistas can be just, let's say, slightly aggressive, and let's leave it at that. And they do tend to price gouge. Here, you're generally around town, you're paying 60 to 70 pesos for any ride, any place, and they generally don't try to price gouge you. So I also have to give transportation at this time the win, and I did turn on the InDrive app. It looks like we have InDrive here, although I haven't used it yet. So now if you look around, you can see we've got this kind of evergreen mountains surrounding us, cooler climate. And so that's another thing, is I'm walking and talking and filming this video. I'm walking up hills. I was just all the way up at that church, yet I'm not sweating my gonads off. So there's a lot to like here in Chiapas. I will dig into some of the other issues. You know, some places where Playa del Carmen wins, and one of those is definitely going to be dental and healthcare. So I have a lot of subscribers who come to Mexico just for dental work, and a lot of them come to Playa del Carmen. I've gotten actual, wisdom tooth extractions and dental work done in 2 different clinics in Playa del Carmen. Both are fantastic. One is Boca Nova, one is Coral. And a lot of folks come down and get dental implants because they're so much more affordable here in Mexico. Would I get dental implants in San Cristobal? Absolutely not. I would go to Playa del Carmen. So Playa del Carmen, hands down, gets the win there. But I do think we did a kind of investigative video recently on hospitals, emergency care. There is better emergency care here than some people give San Cris credit for. But overall, the hospital that I go to in Playa del Carmen, La Jolla, is world-class, top-notch. I had a surgery done in Cancun on my deviated septum and sinus issues. I actually had my sinuses were completely occupied on this left side, and so I had a 4-hour surgery, 65,000 pesos cash, and I came out pretty good with no health insurance. Would I go under the knife and under anesthesia here in San Cristobal? I would really try to avoid it, if I'm being completely honest. So dental healthcare, Playa del Carmen for the win. And then another thing I want to talk about, of course, is walkability. Now, right here in the center, you've got a very walkable, flat area, but the sidewalks here are atrocious. And the moment you get out of the center, you've got a lot of hills. And Playa del Carmen, hands down, is still the most walkable retirement destination or vacation destination that I've ever seen, especially in Mexico. A lot of the Mexican sidewalks are infamous for being dangerous. A lot of people are walking around here with sprained ankles, busted knees, and sore feet. So walkability, Playa del Carmen also gets the win. So this next section is very, very important, especially for single travelers. We're going to talk about dating, nightlife, and the overall lifestyle here for solo travelers. Now, I have to just say right off the bat, the nightlife here, they roll up the sidewalks at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Things pretty much close down. Playa del Carmen is so special in that it's a very international vibe. You can meet people from all over the world: Poland, Italy, Venezuela, Argentina, really everywhere, Germany. And so not only for dating, but for mingling, for making connections, for networking, Playa del Carmen is an incredible location. And the people here are quite a bit more reserved, and there's a lot more indigenous influence here, so it's not quite so easy to simply break the ice. I will say I've made some fantastic friendships while being here, but it's not even in the same league as Playa del Carmen as far as dating and nightlife. If you want to stay out till 2 or 3 in the morning in Playa, having fun, dancing bachata, mingling, you can certainly do that. I haven't really found that here. I did go to a flamenco night that was a lot of fun, but once again, they wrapped it up, I think, around 9:45 or 10. I thought they were joking, like, okay, that does it for the night. And I was like, wait, what? So this is a really cool place to mingle midday, but it is an older vibe. It reminds me a little bit of Cuenca, Ecuador, which has an older expat community. And so as far as the expats here that this may be right for is the people who are ready for bed at 10 p.m. It's the other side of that coin is that it's very, very quiet in the evening. You don't have the loud club noise. You don't have all the ruckus and the drunkards running around at 2 in the morning. So take that for what it is, but I just wanted to touch on that briefly, is that if you're really looking for nightlife and dating, you might be actually quite disappointed here in San Cristobal. So I wanted to touch on this briefly as we pass by the friendly local PD here. The PD here, the law enforcement has been incredibly kind. The safety has been next level. That has not always been the case in Chiapas. But I felt after 1 month here, I felt incredibly safe literally the entire time. I've had nothing but positive encounters and interactions with the local PD, also with the taxi drivers. So I did promise that I would mention that. It's a sensitive subject, but I had to bring that up and at least mention it for sure. So who actually wins this battle, Playa del Carmen or Chiapas? Well, it depends on who you are. If you like peace and quiet, you like abundant nature, wild waterfalls, mountains, rivers, canyons, mind-blowing lagoons, historic cultural centers like I'm about to finish the video at over here in Plaza La Paz, then Chiapas absolutely gets the win. If you're a digital nomad or a traveler on a deep, deep budget, Chiapas gets the win. Now, if money's not an object and you don't mind some hurricane risk and some heat and some mosquitoes, and you love the gorgeous Caribbean Sea, Playa del Carmen obviously gets the win, but you have to have the budget for it. So Chiapas is right. Chiapas is definitely the right pick for a lot of folks who either can't tolerate the heat or the high prices. And one thing that has bothered me, and I'm going to be completely transparent, one thing that has really bothered me about Playa del Carmen is the unwillingness of the landlords to lower rents during low season. They expect us to pay, 18,000, 22,000 pesos a month when it's so hot we can't even go outside, when the beaches are unusable. And I think as long as that continues, I'm not going to be spending my low seasons and my hard-earned cash in Playa del Carmen. I'll come to a place like San Cristobal. That's my kind of philosophy of use, is come here for 1 month, come here for 3 months. I highlighted in the cost of living section earlier that I saved $2,159 in just 1 month here. Compound that savings over 3 months, and then compound that savings, if I invest it wisely, over 20 years. It's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. So that's my philosophy for Chiapas, is that as long as an Aperol Spritz is 300 pesos in Playa and rents are over $1,000 a month, I would take this over that, and that's my honest truth. I'm probably going to get some haters like, oh no, he's turning on Playa. I love Playa del Carmen. I miss it. I'm not going to lie. I lay awake at night sometimes homesick for it. I kid you not. But this place is special. It's affordable. I've made meaningful friendships. That's my honest take on Playa del Carmen versus Chiapas. And this climate, I gotta say, guys, is absolutely delicious. It's just so perfect right now. And all these little contemporary cocinas, all these little restaurants, all these cafes. I think I've had coffee at probably 15 or 20 different places. I've eaten meals at probably 30 different restaurants at least. And there's still so many. There's a strong Japanese food culture, Asian food, Italian food. You can see here we've got an Argentinian parrilla. So you're not going to run out of unique little spots to have a cocktail or a coffee or a delicious meal, and that's a very important thing for me. You know, my final thoughts always revolve around food and nature in abundance. Chiapas has that in spades. Will I be back in Playa when beach conditions justify the high prices? You know it, guys. Thanks for stopping in for the video. Until next time, Rope Monster out. And guys, a little bit of bonus material as we see a musician walking up the street here, up the Andador, is that the local music scene is incredible. In Playa del Carmen, what you can really expect with live music is to hear the same covers over and over and over again. I hope you really like Journey, Small Town Girl, because you're going to hear that every single night in Playa. Here what you have is unique actual bands, musicians who have original songs. The bars allow them to play deeper cuts like Kelvis Ochoa and other Latin American artists. It's not just the same tired old covers. So if you're into local music, hola chicos, ¿qué tal? Yeah, ¿quieres decir hola YouTube? Hey!
Hola YouTube, San Cristóbal.
San Cris? Hey! Hey, Diablito!
Wow, thank you!
Eso! So people are incredibly friendly. Sun's out, smiles out. But I've been in, and what brought up this thing about music was seeing the musician there. And a lot of you ask about live music. And I was in a bar 2 nights ago right down here. Hold on, hermano. I was in a bar just right down here. This is the spot. Pizzas a la leña, pastas, cortes. So I actually got a shrimp pasta and a beer, and it was like $8. And we had a very talented live band there who played till about 11 o'clock actually that night. So the live music scene is actually surprisingly good here. I also went to a place called Naufragio, which I'll try to include in the deep bonus material of this video later on today. But it's a local cerveceria, it's a brew pub that makes fantastic pizzas with masa madre, like sourdough bread, or sourdough crust, I should say. And it's a little hole in the wall spot, but the music there was like almost like gypsy jazz. It was really good. So live music, I'll try to show you that place firsthand if time allows. I am down to my last couple days here in San Cris at this point. But yeah, I mean, the nightlife, it's not all bad. There's definitely some live music. And so as I wait for my cappuccino here in Plaza de la Paz, look at this place. I wanted to touch on physical and mental health and wellness, as well as fitness. So many of you might be thinking, well, hey, there's no beach volleyball there. How are you staying in shape? I'm going to the gym, I'm lifting weights, I'm going for runs actually, and I'm training here at 7,200 feet, and I am in full beast mode. I'm 91 kilos. My strength is as good as it's ever been. I was actually at the gym yesterday doing some neutral grip lat pull downs, and I maxed out the stack for I think 6 reps. And we're talking like 280 pounds on the lat pull downs. So my strength is on point. I actually acclimated after about 2 weeks here as far as cardio. Hiking definitely helps, but I actually went for a run after the gym the other day. So I would say if you're an athlete and you go up from sea level to this altitude, it will actually benefit your physical fitness in a huge way. As long as you get the right nutrition, the right rest, you can absolutely turn into a weapon, an absolute beast. And a lot of folks, there is some yoga culture, there's meditation culture. You can absolutely keep your physique on point here. And some of these waterfall hikes and things that we've done, some of these adventures, kayaking up the Sumidero Canyon, certainly did not hurt the mental and physical wellness. So I did have to touch on that. I always talk about that, the fitness factor, the friend factor, and fitness game on point here in San Cristobal. The fitness culture is quite a bit stronger in Playa del Carmen, no doubt about it. You've got the Deportivo, you've got some of the most famous fitness influencers in the Western Hemisphere who work out at Evolve. So if you're really into the full-on fitness culture, Playa del Carmen gets the win. But training at altitude, you have some serious benefits, and the gyms here are perfectly fine. Zona Fit Guadalupe is the gym I've been going to. Highly recommend it. It's 70 pesos per session, or 370 pesos if you just want to pay month to month. To put that into context, the day pass at Evolve in Playa del Carmen is 300 pesos for one day, and it is 1,500 pesos if you want to go month to month. So once again, the cost versus the quality, Chiapas probably gets the win there on the gym. Okay, this is why you stick around. I have some special bonus material. I actually found a 3-bedroom furnished home. I want to show you guys. It's 10,000 pesos a month. So I just wanted to take this time to talk about cost of living and housing in a little more detail. We're on this nice, quiet, beautiful street here. This is the 3-bedroom home, month to month, 10,000 pesos. You've got some natural light here with the skylight. Bedroom number 1 through here. So imagine splitting this with 1 or 2 roommates, just how beautiful and affordable life can be here in San Cristobal. You're not going to find a 3-bedroom home in Playa del Carmen for 10,000 pesos. You're lucky these days to find a studio. So nice big living room here. And almost all the natural light comes from skylights rather than windows. We've got a 5-burner gas range, full-size fridge, and it does have month-to-month options. So move in, 10,000 pesos. Call up your whole crew, your buddies, your travel companions, or for a family, for a full-size family to live down here, 10,000 pesos a month for rent. ¿Puedo mostrar el baño? Okay, gracias. So here we have the bathroom, and I was speaking with the lovely Guadalupe here, and she was saying, yes, it has a bathtub. Do not plan on using it because the water is scarce. We've discussed that in prior videos, and so there will be no use of the actual bathtub, but I do fit under the shower. The shower test is an easy pass in this one. So there's the bonus material, part number 1 for you guys. We'll have some nightlife bonus material coming as well, but 10,000 pesos for a 3-bedroom home that's quiet, easy peasy, no need for contracts. Everything is done on a handshake and trust. Here, tons of closet space in each one of these bedrooms. And is the bed super comfy? No, but it's definitely sleepable. So guys, if you appreciate the bonus material, just type in bonus material in the comments below, and I'll keep right on bringing you these goodies. This is almost always unplanned, unexpected finds that I'm like, you know what, I gotta throw this in the video. So pretty sweet house. Would I live here for 10,000 pesos a month with a couple buddies for roommates? Absolutely. That would put you at 3,333 pesos per person per month, guys. That's like 150 bucks a month. Okay, one more point here to illustrate the food. It is almost FIFA time. I got all the ingredients here to make a huge amount of guacamole for about $6 US. Feed the whole village here for about 120 pesos. I'm gonna make a giant bowl of my signature guacamole. One more quick pro tip, use this stuff right here to disinfect any of your veggies that you're gonna keep the skin on, or any leaves like cilantro. Gotta take care of the belly. Do not get salmonella here in Chiapas. That would ruin your trip. So these guys are being properly disinfected here before they go into the guacamole. So as mentioned earlier, it's not just about affordability, it's about quality. So if you're an avocado lover, feast your eyes. I bought about 12 avocados. Not a single one of them has a flaw. These are the most perfect, creamy, delicious avocados.